Hello wonderful people and welcome back. This video is titled Cop Pulls Car Over for Bad Driving, Sees 5-year-old Behind Wheel. And here is the story. For the past 20 minutes, he had been monitoring the SUV. The car was speeding along the major highway. As they passed other vehicles, the driver veered uncomfortably. Was the driver ill or perhaps driving under the influence? He knew that it was his responsibility to stop him, so he blasted his siren and stepped on the gas pedal. However, what he saw made his jaw drop. Marcus Solomons has served as a state trooper for the previous 15 years. He was well versed in the Utah road network and he delighted in assisting people as they traveled to their destinations. Marcus had driven the entire length of the highway and had seen practically everything it had to offer. He'd been in vehicle chases before, but nothing could have prepared him for the events that would unfold that day. Marcus' average day as a state trooper in Utah consisted of monitoring the interstate highway. Marcus was passionate about his work. He'd get up every morning ready for the experiences that awaited him. What happened that day will forever affect his viewpoint on being a trooper. It was a normal day for Marcus. He bought himself a cup of coffee as he made his way to the station. He did some admin and then got into his car. His itinerary that day included the Interstate 15, I-15. Marcus could sense it beckoning him. He shifted into drive on his cruiser and slid out of the parking space. He had no idea what he was getting himself into. Normally, patrolling the freeway was a relaxing experience. Marcus, on the other hand, had the feeling that something significant was going to happen that day. Before we continue, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. Now back to the video. He was driving peacefully on the open highway when an SUV in front of him veered between the lanes. The car sluggishly moved down the road. What exactly is this? Marcus was perplexed. Something didn't feel quite right. Marcus had been driving this stretch of road for over 20 years. He'd seen a great deal of things, but nothing like what he was seeing now. The SUV in front of him accelerated, but it was shortly stabilized by its driver. As it passed a pickup truck, the vehicle wiggled on the road. But that wasn't the strangest part for him. Marcus could not see anybody in the driver's seat. He blinked a couple of times to make sure that he was seeing things correctly. Was somebody trying to joke with him, or were his eyes deceiving him? He flashed his signal lights and sped past the pickup truck, his car settling in behind the SUV. Marcus stretched his neck in an attempt to get a better view of the SUV's driver. He was on the verge of veering off the road because of what he witnessed. Marcus grew up hearing rumors about ghosts inhabiting highways in America. So thinking about a car without a driver was no shock to Marcus. He was not immobilized by fear by the thought of that. However, this particular SUV sent shivers down his spine. Marcus did his best to try and comprehend what he was witnessing. It was clear to Marcus that the SUV's driver was not visible. It was passing other vehicles but barely staying on the road. Marcus considered the possibility that the SUV was a self-driving car, which made more sense than ghosts. Whatever it was, Marcus knew that he had to put an end to this. Marcus had been following the SUV for well over 30 minutes, and he knew that this chase needed to end immediately. As his car sped up, a light bulb went off in his head. It was possible that the car might have a driver, but he was in need of urgent medical attention. On a regular basis, Marcus assisted a large numbers of passengers on this road. If this driver required assistance, he would gladly provide it. Marcus turned on his siren, hoping the phantom or driver inside the SUV abided by road laws. The vehicle shook. As it settled back on the road, Marcus finally caught a glimpse of the driver's seat. A person was driving the car. Marcus laughed at himself. Ghost driver, what was he thinking? But as he got a closer look, his smile faded. A child stood behind the wheel, barely looking over the dashboard. Marcus blinked severely, his jaw slacking. A ghost driver would have made more sense than this. Pull over, he spoke into his PA system. He'd have to be gentle as traffic was picking up around them. Spooking the child might have resulted in countless accidents. As gently as he could, Marcus drove alongside the SUV. He cracked open his window and smiled at the kid, urging him to pull over. The child nodded, returning Marcus' smile with a nervous one. It's all right, Marcus said over the window. Just stop the vehicle, son. He was not ready for what the child did next. The kid, who couldn't have been over 6, slowed the SUV and pulled it to the side. Marcus couldn't believe it. He rushed out of his cruiser with a first aid kit. Where were this child's parents? Why was he on the road? And where did he learn to drive at such a young age? Marcus took the kid and called the station. He explained the situation, and the department contacted the child's parents. As they drove back to the station, Marcus asked the boy something that had been gnawing at his mind. Where were you going and why? My mom wouldn't buy me a Lamborghini, so I was going to California to buy one, the boy shrugged. Look, he fished $3 out of his pocket. I even have the money. That's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like this video, please like, comment, or subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.